Have you ever felt like you were suffocating in the middle of a crowd while everyone around you seemed completely comfortable? If so, your brain may simply work differently from theirs. And science is beginning to explain why there is nothing wrong with you. You are not broken. You are not strange. You are simply built in a way that most people may never fully understand. Have you ever stood in a crowd on New Year's Eve? Shoulder to shoulder with strangers, unable to move, music so loud it vibrates through your chest, the smell of sweat mixing with street food from nearby vendors. You look around and see everyone counting down, cheering, filming the moment, and enjoying themselves. But you are just standing there, feeling like a frozen character in a video game, waiting for the first chance to escape. Here is the important thing you need to know. You are not defective. You do not hate people. And you are definitely not weird. Your brain is simply processing the world on a different frequency. Let me explain. Most people's brains have a natural filter, almost like noise-canceling headphones for life. When they enter a crowd, their brain automatically says, ignore the crying baby, ignore the person yelling into their phone, ignore the smell of food mixed with perfume. But your brain works differently. It registers everything, as if it is recording the world in 4K with surround sound and no off button. Psychologists often describe this as having a highly sensitive nervous system. You do not just notice things, you absorb them. Every fragment of conversation, every facial expression, every small shift in the atmosphere enters your mind at once. It is like trying to drink water from a fire hose while everyone else is sipping from a glass. So it is no surprise that after 20 minutes at a party, you already want to go home, lie down, and not speak to anyone for the next hour. That exhaustion is not laziness. It is your brain running a marathon while everyone else is taking a walk. And there is something few people tell you. This sensitivity may once have helped our ancestors survive. When others failed to notice a sound in the bushes, people like you were the first to sense danger. Your sensitivity is not a system error, it is an evolutionary advantage. You are not too sensitive. You are sensitive in the right way. You are not tired of people. You are tired of pretending. Let's be honest. Crowds do not only exhaust you physically, they drain you emotionally. In large groups, so many people are wearing masks, fake laughter at stories that are not funny, forced smiles when someone asks, "How have you been?" The usual answer is, "I'm fine," even when no one really is. And you notice the falseness immediately. You see the tiny changes in people's faces. You hear the tension in their voices. You feel when their energy does not match their words. It is not that you hate people. You hate pretending. You hate meaningless small talk. You hate shallow interactions. That is why you would rather have one honest conversation at 2 in the morning than spend hours at a loud party. Your brain craves meaning, not noise. In a world addicted to surface-level connection, that makes you rare. You're not bad at socializing. You're selective. You do not need 100 acquaintances. You only need a few people who truly understand you, and that is not antisocial. That is wisdom. I have a close friend who always agrees whenever our group invites her to weddings, parties, or year-end gatherings. But when the day arrives, something usually comes up. Sometimes it is traffic, sometimes she feels unwell. Sometimes there is something at home. One day I asked her directly, "Do you actually not want to go?" She stayed quiet for a moment and then said, "I do want to go. But when I imagine sitting for hours in the middle of that crowd, I feel exhausted before I even leave the house." That was when I understood. She was not lazy. She did not care less about her friends. Her brain had already spent energy on the event before it even happened. So what about you? Are you tired of crowds because you absorb too much? Or because you have to pretend you are okay when you are not? Here is where it becomes even more interesting. Your brain chemistry may genuinely be different. Scientists have found that introverts and extroverts respond differently to dopamine, the chemical connected to reward and pleasure. When extroverts are around many people, their brains often release dopamine in a way that makes them feel energized. But for introverts or highly sensitive people, social situations can become overstimulating much faster. It is as if the brain says, "Too much information, retreat now." That is why, after a crowded event, you may not feel recharged. You may feel as though you have just completed a marathon. Your brain works best in stillness and depth. While extroverts may need crowds to feel alive, you need quiet not because you dislike people, but because your mind was designed for depth, not constant distraction. When you sit alone and appear to be doing nothing, your brain may actually be doing a lot. You are processing life on a level that many people rarely reach. You are also like an emotional sponge. Have you ever walked into a room and immediately felt that something was wrong, even though everyone was smiling? You could sense the tension, the unspoken conflict, the heaviness in the air. People who dislike crowds often have a high level of empathy. Their brains mirror the emotions of others. So when you are in a crowd, you're not only feeling your own emotions, you may also be absorbing the emotions of everyone around you. It is like being a radio that picks up every frequency at once. No wonder you want to leave. But the beautiful part is this: that same sensitivity makes you someone who understands human emotions deeply. You can see through masks. You can feel what remains unsaid. And that is rare. You are not avoiding life. You are protecting your peace. Society often praises busyness, noise, and being constantly surrounded by people. If you do not attend every party or join every event, people may label you as distant, boring, or difficult to approach. But the truth is, choosing peace over chaos is one of the bravest decisions you can make. You understand something many people spend their whole lives trying to learn. Silence is not empty. It is full of clarity, creativity, and self-awareness. Being alone does not always mean being lonely. Sometimes it means being connected to yourself. It is where you think most deeply, feel most honestly, and live most authentically. You are not missing out on life. You are simply refusing to participate in a game that was never designed for you. So the next time someone asks why you are so quiet or why you do not go out more often, just smile. They may not realize that you are listening to the world in a way they cannot. You see more deeply, you feel more deeply, and in a world that is always loud, you choose stillness. You're not broken. You are simply made differently, and perhaps that is exactly what this world needs more of.